sweetie. Hey. I can't sleep.
Why?
Do you want to go to Disney?
Yes.
What if we went to Disney World today?
We really are.
Really are.
We really are.
Are we literally going to Disney? Yeah.
The magic's been there from the very beginning.
The smells, the sights, the sounds. There's something in the air that is so special and unique.
The way it connects one-to-one with our guests. Over and over.
Oh my goodness.
Across the country and around the world. Stories become more meaningful.
Which one would you like to choose? The Hulk.
I can't wait to see a princess. I'm so excited.
Look like a really good Buzz Lightyear.
I want to fly.
Stories become more personal.
You are now a knight of the kingdom.
With you at the center, everything comes to life.
Just the fact that we were together, doing all the activities together. Let's go. We're all in it and we're on the moment.
Together, we make the memories that will live in your heart.
I feel like we're celebrated here, and that's so nice to share with other people.
Together, we make the impossible possible.
This is a dream come true for me.
Because the magic of Disney is nothing compared to what happens when we share it with you. Now and forever.
I always wonder what Disney will do next.
Cheers to many more memories.
Every turn I take, every trail I track,
Every path I make, every road leads back
to the place I know where I cannot go, where I long to be. See the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me.
and no one knows how far it goes.
If the wind in my sail and the sea stays behind me,
One day I'll know how far we'll go.
Goodbye, citizen.
Disney News Talk live after D23 edition. Hey everybody, Wade for the Kingdom Report, back with you once again. We are covering every single announcement coming out of the Disney Parks panel, the one we've been waiting for, right? Well, if you happened to catch the entire live stream via the D23 Expo YouTube channel, then you noticed that Josh D'Amaro, the Disney Parks chairman, was basically booted at the end of his own presentation. They cut it off as the singers came to celebrate sort of the final pinnacle of the presentation, and then they cut it off and went to an interview that was waiting on another stage. I think they just went way over was the thing. I think it was supposed to be over around noon. But anyway, here we are live to cover all of the updates for you. We have got so much to get into. You just saw that Disney commercial there. That is a wonderful nod to, I think, marketing going back in the right direction. I feel like every once in a while, about every 10 years or so, Disney gets it from a marketing perspective. And that right there, if you saw that commercial before the opening, that brought a lot of emotion back when you think about exactly what it means to be a Disney Parks fan. I feel like Josh Tomorrow definitely touched on it. Hey, we aren't going to waste any time. We are going to jump right on into this. Who's we? Well, back with me today, just like she was with me yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, Katrina Manzone is here. Hey, Katrina.
Hi. Oh my gosh. So many things to talk about. I'm going to burst.
Don't burst. You got to hold on. You got to hang out before we all start exploding together simultaneously. Well, there is a heck of a lot that was discussed. Also, several things that were not even acknowledged that I think a lot of us were assuming was, sort of going to get center stage in this presentation, and not a peep about certain things. Now, I'd like to revert back to the poll that we took of our community and asked everybody exactly what did you want to hear at the D23 Expo. 52% of you said Tomorrowland Overhaul at Disneyland. Not even mentioned. Disneyland's Tomorrowland not even acknowledged during this presentation. However, there were a couple of other things that are on this list that were acknowledged. In fact, I think all of it, with the exception of maybe a new parade for Magic Kingdom. But we're going to get into every single itemized list here, break it all down for you. If you didn't have time to sit through the almost 2-hour long presentation from the D23 Expo, don't you worry. We've got some analysis. We've got our own take on what's happening. And here is the breakdown. Here is what we're looking at. Lots of things on this list, and we will go one by one. Before they even started things, Katrina, they basically had a musical number to kick things off. So before the announcements even happened, a musical number. Jordan Fisher, one of the principal singers of the Happily Ever After chorus theme for Happily Ever After Fireworks at Magic Kingdom Park, came out and sang it. I thought that is very interesting that they would choose this song to kick off a parks presentation with. And now we know why. And that's because Happily Ever After Fireworks are coming back to Magic Kingdom in 2023. Katrina,
So
hold your thoughts. Hold your thoughts and opinions. Josh Tomorrow could not be more overjoyed to share that news.
If you're anything like me, you just flashed back to standing up on Main Street watching the sky light up over Cinderella Castle. Well, you know what? Let's get started with an announcement right off the bat, just for you, our biggest fans. I am so excited to share that next year we're going to bring back the Happily Ever After anthem as part of an updated Magic Kingdom. It's a nighttime factor. I know you guys love this stuff. I know it. I love it too.
He was so befuddled, he couldn't even get the words out. He was so excited to kick things off with that announcement. Your reaction, Katrina? Happily Ever After coming back after a 50th anniversary break.
Oh my gosh. Tears of happiness. That's my favorite show, to be honest. I really love Wishes, but I think Happily Ever After means a lot to me. So I have really great memories of watching it with Tyler, and then we did like the dessert party with our friends, and we just had a ball. And then I was like, I've never been so emotional watching a fireworks show. I think the last one I was emotional was like the one with Julie Andrews. So in Disneyland.
Oh, the 50th for Disneyland's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember Dreams Come True. Very special.
Such a good show. So, and also the Halloween ones are really great, but it doesn't make me cry. But this one just really tugs at the heartstrings.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. It is not only a killer presentation, but Jordan Fisher singing that chorus is, I think it's one of the best fireworks songs ever. I think it absolutely encapsulates what, sort of the spirit of Walt Disney World is. And I remember the first time I heard it and I thought, they nailed it. So now we've got, it looks like marketing going back in the right direction with the commercial that kicked off this broadcast that they showed, and kind of an understanding of Disney guests once again. They've got sort of the fan favorite fireworks show coming back to Magic Kingdom. And then we turn our attention over to Disneyland, where The Mandalorian is coming to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Now, we already knew that he was coming at some point, but nobody had seen him yet. Nobody had encountered him at any point. And so the thought became, well, when's this going to start? What does this look like? Exactly when is The Mandalorian going to step foot on these sort of hallowed grounds of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, since there's been so much pinned up demand? We throw it back to Josh.
Was told to meet at Oga's Cantina.
All right, all right. Hey, it looks like you got a little friend there.
All right, kid. Let's go find this Trandoshie. And a snack.
Safe journeys, Mando. It's good to see you.
This is the way.
This is the way.
We finally get to see a peek of not only Mando, but also the child. Is that something you're going to go out of your way for?
Oh yeah, this is the way. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I remember when they announced when they had like what's his name? Oh my gosh, now I just like blinked on
Boba Fett?
everything. But anyway, but we always try to go see the characters because it's always so fun. And then we were waiting for this one when Mandalorian came out. I was like, oh man, they already have like season 2. Like, what are we? Come on, they have to have it, right? And then obviously it was just kind of put on the back burner. But oh my gosh, little Grogu and his little hair. I just
Little
like want to
Grogu.
touch it.
It's wonderful that they came up with a creation like this. John Favreau, sort of a principal designer in all of it, couldn't wait to share it as well. And we also take a look at some of the other things that happened. They turned their attention from Disneyland over to California Adventure, and they talked a lot about how, well, it's time to meet somebody green. In fact, the Incredible Hulk is going to become a part of our world at Avengers Campus at Disney California Adventure starting next week. And we should say, by the way, I don't think I covered it, the Mandalorian, along with the child, Grogu, they are going to be meeting and greeting come mid-November at Disneyland, so look out for that. But when the Incredible Hulk, there's always been a discussion about, how would you meet the Hulk in real life? How would that be a possibility? And during the presentation for the D23 Expo, obviously we got Mark Ruffalo, who plays the character of the Hulk in the films, like zooming in, saying, I'm watching the live stream. I think it'd be great if things got a little more green in Avengers Campus. And now we know, number one, that the Hulk is coming our way. And number two, we now officially have an idea as to what that is going to look like.
What is this? One of those something cons?
Something. This is D23 Expo, Hulk.
Oh, the time-space GPS must be off. Now I'm annoyed.
Well, Hulk, we would love to have you at Avengers Campus. Maybe you can do like a meet and greet. You can see some of your fans. You could do like a visiting professor kind of thing, something like that.
I like it. I can make that work. Avengers Campus, get ready.
Hulk, great.
What do you think, Katrina? Big old Hulk coming your way.
Oh wow, that thing is massive. That baby. I mean, just look how he has to walk away. I was like, you do not want to get caught up in that when he's walking away.
He's a gigantic character. He's in his Avengers suit as well. So we'll get to see him next week. They did say something very interesting in that presentation, and that is he's not going to be able to stick around for very long. So I don't know what that means. They said, so make sure you get out there to meet him.
She-Hulk, do you think? No, they can't do that. I
I'm
wonder
not
if
sure.
they're just going to see how it works because they have to put him around people and stuff. Kind of like, like Groot. Like Groot had to go kind of like walk around people, and
that's
that
a good
was
point.
kind of there. Maybe they have to like test it to see how it's going.
Yeah, that could be. It was an odd thing to mention there at the tail end, like, oh, also, you might want to hurry because he's not going to be around for very long. So I don't know if they're going to perhaps send Hulk to different places around the world. I don't know if that's maybe the idea, or but they weren't entirely clear. They just said he's coming to Disneyland next week, or California Adventure rather. So to prepare yourselves, get out there and see him. In addition to that, we have the breakdown here of the third attraction coming to Avengers Campus at the Disneyland Resort with King Thanos. So we were told that there was going to be some additional details shared about this attraction after Bob Chapek announced that there is going to be an expansion of Avengers Campus coming to California Adventure very soon. He said, hey, wait until Sunday. They're going to give you all the details. And here is what Kevin Feige, head of Marvel Studios, had to share when he took the stage a little earlier today.
And in this new attraction, you're going to be able to battle alongside all the Avengers against all the foes from anywhere, from every win that you can possibly imagine. And you're going to meet a new villain named King Thanos. This is a new version of Thanos for the very first time coming into the MCU via this attraction. And he's got a cool white beard too, and a crown. This is a Thanos that won. And the Avengers are not too happy about that. And you have to help them.
So, Kevin, you all need to know, when we're building these new attractions, he is in this every step of the way, making sure the story comes through and it's exciting for all of you. This is incredibly exciting. He is incredibly exciting, and this is coming soon.
So you hear there that we've got ourselves more details on the attraction that will soon be the multiverse-centered experience that will be part of the expansion of Avengers Campus, a California adventure with a Thanos that won. Kevin Feige being an instrumental player in all things design and the way these concepts are brought to life. What do you think, Katrina? You mentioned yesterday that you thought, and I thought this was a great point, that Bob Chapek stopped using the term e-ticket when talking about this, like we were supposed to get at Avengers Campus, and just started saying attraction. And I didn't hear e-ticket mentioned at all.
Right. It's very interesting. It's very curious that they like just pretty much took out e-ticket and, you know, like the main event of this land, and now they just switch it to attraction. And then that made me worried, like yesterday. Yeah, like I was kind of really, I was like, ooh. And then when they showed this art, it looks like screens. It looks like it fits maybe 3 rows of 4.
Yeah.
And so it looks like it may move, possibly. It may move around a little bit, kind of like maybe Gringotts from Harry Potter or something like that, where it's not going to be like a roller coaster or anything, but maybe you'll be moving around, but it'll be mainly screen work to make it look like you're moving through this, I don't know what they're really going to do, galaxy with King Thanos, but it looks like screens to me. So I'm kind of like, oh man.
Yeah, I'm interested to figure out exactly a little bit more about that, especially since, you know, we were told we were going to have an e-ticket. It was going to be the Quinjet thing, but perhaps new technology or some sort of concept came to be for the sake of, you know, them advancing an idea that they had before. I know a lot of times Imagineering, usually, you know, they have such great ideas that technology isn't quite there yet in terms of what they'd like to do. And it kind of sounds like whatever technology they were looking for has arrived, or, you know, whatever advancement they needed has shown up. So I'm hoping that it's that. I really do anticipate that if they don't knock our socks off with this in Avengers Campus, then boy, it's 2 for 2.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're going to try to, I mean, what it looks like is because they're doing the whole multiverse thing. So maybe they're going to be able to switch it up. So they're trying to find some technology where they can always switch up the storyline instead of having like a stagnant storyline where it just gets boring in the end. So when new movies come out, they can, you know, pimp out that kind of new storyline and make it something you want to go back to, just like how they do characters. Like, that's what I know Avengers Campus for, right? Is all the new characters that come out all the time. They even like supported that. They're like, oh, look at Loki. We have another Loki. We have Scarlet Witch. And they always were able to switch it up because that's what gets people to come back. So maybe this new ride, they're going to be able to switch up the storyline easily when they film new movies. They can kind of
easily
add that
infused. Yeah, real synergistic, and boy, I can absolutely see that. I think you might be onto something here. I think you're pulling on a thread. Hopefully, it leads to something better than we anticipate. That's for sure. So, no details on when that new attraction will be opening or even break ground. Just that it is coming, and they're excited to share that with us. Coming to DCA, also in California Adventure, Big Hero 6, San Fransokyo retheme coming to Pacific Wharf. Yes, indeed. Ooh. I cannot believe we finally get a Big Hero 6 nod in that park. You know, I definitely think that it's an interesting route to take, given that they overhauled California Adventure several years ago to be more about California. And, you know, then we at Avengers Campus, which they tried to loosely work into the story. But here we are with Big Hero 6 and San Fransokyo coming to play. What do you think about having a little Big Hero 6 inside DCA now?
I love Baymax. He's just so adorable. He deserves it. That whole land deserves it. It's so interesting because I'm like, are they gonna keep Ghirardelli? Because that was like their money maker. Are they gonna like kick Ghirardelli out? Are they gonna keep that kind of stuff? Don't get rid of my Bedia because I will riot. But I think it's like a great idea. But like what you said is they're kind of moving away of California now. So I'm like, are you renaming Disney California Adventure? Because now we don't really have San Francisco. We don't really have like it's now Pixar Pier. So is it going to be kind of like, renaming of the park? Because now they're moving away from all of that California stuff.
Don't take that Ghirardelli. I'm going to chain myself to the door. Don't you? You will not touch my Ghirardelli, by God. Absolutely not. Well,
don't get rid of my Sundays.
No, I need them.
Nope.
San Fransokyo on the way. No real timeline as of yet entirely, but definitely one of those big announcements where they're taking an area of the park that really only exists for food, really, at this point, and infusing a little bit of intellectual property, and then on top of it, bringing a place to meet Baymax on the regular. In addition to that, they also shared an update regarding Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel across the street that looks into California Adventure, which I thought was interesting, especially since now there is an official name to go along with that hotel. Here's what Josh D'Amaro, Disney Parks chairman, had to say.
Excited to share that we're about to reimagine Pacific Wharf into San Fransokyo Big Hero 6. This, everyone, is where East meets West and technology meets tradition. We're still in the early phases here of this work, but you can see glimpses of what's to come. There's going to be a place to meet Baymax, of course, all kinds of spots to eat and do shopping and all of that. It's going to be a great experience as we continue to tell new stories in Disney California Adventure. Over across the street, we're also making great progress on the reimagining of Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel. And I am excited to share for the first time that its new name will be Pixar Place Hotel. This hotel, it's gonna be super, super fun. You'll feel like you walked right into a Pixar art gallery. You'll see new interpretations of favorite characters like Woody, Buzz will be there, Mike, 22, Miguel, Dante, and all the Disney Pixar characters that you can think of. Of course, Pixar's artistry will be at the core of this totally refreshed experience. It's gonna include fantastic communal areas like this Finding Nemo themed splash pad. The hotel is gonna feel completely new.
So there we have it, a little bit more of an idea as to what's coming to us with the former Paradise Pier Hotel, soon to be Pixar Place. Katrina, thoughts on this hotel overhaul? No doubt it's an older hotel that definitely needed a touch-up, but you like the direction they're going?
Oh, definitely needs a refresh. I'm okay with it. You know, I think that it's fun that they're going to incorporate every Pixar character that they've done, which I think that they needed to do, because I know that before they were kind of talking about focusing it on like one character, and then they kind of just said Pixar, but you didn't really know where they were going with. But I really loved the little glass figurines that were kind of above in the main atrium that they had for the rendering. It looked really pretty. And so when the light like kind of shines on everything, that place is going to be lit up with all these different kinds of just beautiful little rainbows, you know?
Absolutely.
But I really hope they really take a lot of, they really go into the rooms and really redecorate the rooms, because I feel like you could still smell smoke when you go in there sometimes when it's like hot outside.
Absolutely. I have encountered it myself. Yeah, it's a
Have
hotel.
you? Yes, I'm not crazy.
Yeah. In fact, I asked to change rooms one time because the scent was so thick, and so I ended up switching rooms there.
Oh my gosh, how disappointing. Yeah, I really hope that they really redo it, and actually not make it really cheap, but actually like do a good job with that.
Yeah, put the money behind it for real. Go big or go home, as they say. And Our friend Troy chiming in here about sort of the D23 presentation overall, saying Disney better knock it out of the park at D23 in 2024 prior to the opening of Epic Universe. This D23 was mostly vague hype with very little detail. I found it mostly underwhelming.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I think they did some good news, but then I think some of it was kind of like, I wish there was a little bit more, like Tomorrowland, for instance.
For instance, yeah, a lot of I think follow up on things that were already in play that we were aware of. However, there were, I think, a handful of exciting announcements, more exciting than I anticipated, especially with some of the Blue Sky stuff that they are. It sounds like focusing on, which we'll get to. And speaking of, Joe says that too much like huge Blue Sky ideas, huge letdown for sure. Felt like we already knew most things they announced. Well, yeah, to a certain degree. And I know that there was no real like groundbreaking announcement in terms of like, hey, here are the details as to when something's going to start and finish, and this is what you can anticipate by such and such date. It really lacked a lot of that. Brianna is saying, I agree, it was underwhelming. So it sounds like we're getting, more and more of that feedback from our viewers, especially DK saying, underwhelming for Walt Disney World. Yeah, almost non-existent for the most part. It was so much more about all the other sort of properties and entities of the Disney Parks division. That's for sure. And Lola saying, we don't talk about Tomorrowland. Yeah, apparently not. We don't even acknowledge Tomorrowland exists in forums like this anymore, do we? I think the D23 Expo had a real opportunity to at least acknowledge that there are problems there, and maybe even that they are working on it, kind of how they were talking about conceptualizing new things for, say, Magic Kingdom and Disney's Animal Kingdom. It would have been nice to have at least heard, hey, we are looking into the future. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, something to that effect. And we believe that Tomorrowland can be better down the line. Maybe here's some concept art. You don't have to commit to anything. Just tell us that you're thinking about it. I think would have gone a long way.
I think that usually they do that like towards the end, like you notice, like they kind of like announced a couple things really quickly.
Yeah.
And they could have at least kind of threw something like that in to kind of like get us excited.
Would have been nice, that's for sure. They did follow up with some details regarding Toontown and how things are going to look on that front as they released even more detailed concept art. We've also seen some photos on the Kingdom Report Live Instagram feed this weekend of the scale models that they put in place at the expo that allow us to get much more of a sort of deeper look at exactly what that little land at the back of the park is going to be experiencing in the near future as things reopen for us in spring of 2023. Here's Josh with a few of those details.
House in a whole new way at Mickey's Toontown at Disneyland Park. The highlight, of course, will be Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I'm guessing some of you have experienced before. It's already a huge hit at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Florida. And of course, we're going to make some very special adjustments to ensure that this version, it fits perfectly into our Toontown story. Today, you're getting a closer look at the attraction with these brand new renderings from inside the El Capitan Theater. And no matter when you met Mickey for the first time, there's going to be something in there for each of you, from Steamboat Willie to Mickey Mouse Club to his desk at Mickey's Christmas Carol, all the way up to the present day. It is going to be a celebration of all things Mickey, which I love. I think some of you might know I'm a huge, huge Mickey fan. Now, this reimagining of Disney's Toontown, it's going to be fantastic. We are really stepping into a new era of inclusive experiences in this land of families for all ages. Now, I know from some of you out there that there was some concern that poor Donald is going to lose his favorite boat. Rest assured, everyone, it's still there. Here's a first look at a new rendering that we have where you can see he's crashed it into Goofy's pond. And here, in this new rendering, you can see one of the silliest areas of new Goofy's How to Play yard. It's a fun, interactive sound garden where little ones will discover new ways to make all kinds of noises. These new experiences will join existing favorites in Mickey's Toontown when the land reopens in early 2023. I can tell you, I've had a chance to walk around there a lot. This place is going to be great. So let's go from Toontown.
He was going to say, let's go from Toontown on over to New Orleans Square, where they definitely dove into some of the more, I think, in-depth storytelling as to, exactly the inspiration behind Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the new re-theme coming to Splash Mountain, and no doubt the extension of sort of that theme on into New Orleans Square with Eudora's Chic Boutique. We talked about both pretty at length yesterday. They definitely dove into sort of the cultural aspects of what they were trying to do, everything from food to Tiana's story and sort of an evolution of that story from the film, which I thought was great. However, there wasn't really a whole lot to share outside of what we already talked about, you and I, Katrina, that is yesterday, with a 2024 opening. That's really all that we know. So I would anticipate
I wish they gave us more. I was like, oh. Like, she gave us a beautiful song and everything, and I'm like, come on, do something. Give us like a new song, little hint.
Yeah, exactly. To bring out the voice of Tiana and to bring out all of like the artists and the writers and designers and like all the people behind making this, I thought, boy, we're saying a whole lot of nothing here.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they had a really beautiful story to say, but when she came out, I was like, oh, is she gonna like slip in the new song? And nope.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Strange, right? Yeah. To go to all that work, bring out all these folks, and yeah, I felt like I was no better off than I was before, outside of hearing Anika Nani Rose's beautiful voice, because I think she's one of the best in the Disney princess lineup when it comes to beautiful voices, that's for sure. And so we move from the Splash Mountain re-theme and the talk on that front on over to downtown Disney at the Disneyland Resort. Changes are coming our way, including more than a dozen additional locations that will soon be built, from dining to retail. Josh has more details and some concept art on that.
Over to downtown Disney, where we have some big plans to introduce more than a dozen new and reimagined locations. You can expect a bunch of new options for shopping and dining that will showcase Southern California culture. Now, we've already shared that Michelin star chef Carlos Gaitan is bringing his vision for Mexican cuisine to Centrico and Paseo. And we're also excited that Din Tai Fung will join the district with its flavorful Chinese cuisine. You're seeing for the first time a piece of concept art that I think is coming along really well and looks cool. We have several other announcements planned for the next year and into the future, but I want you to be the first to hear this one. We're bringing a Southern California favorite to downtown Disney. It's a place that I love and I hope you love. It's Portos. Oh, we got some Portos fans in here. Now, for those of you that have, in fact, experienced Portos, you know this. This bakery is famous for its sweet pastries and its treats and its savory Cuban food and all the incredible desserts that they have. And trust me, it is all delicious. Now, some of you, I imagine, some of you out there in the audience might be wondering, well, what is this all about? Let me just say this. It's really good. And when you try it, you are going to love it.
I love that. It's really good. The way to sell it, right? What did you hear out of that that got you pumped, Katrina?
Oh man, I'm really curious to try Din Tai Fung because I've never done it before. And everybody like lost their mind over it. So I'm like, oh, it's got to be good, right? Portos, that is a staple. It's funny too because he was like talking about it and he just said like California staple. I'm like, what, Portos? And then he said it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It was like either that or Zankou chicken, and I'd be like, "Heck yeah, I would totally go for Zankou chicken at downtown Disney." But
got it.
Oh man, that's so great. I was so happy that like they announced it. But can you imagine the parking for trying to get Portos on the line? Because they already have a Portos down the street from Disneyland, and it's it's like right down the street from Knott's Berry Farm. So, and that one is massive. So that's got to be like the main. Because their bakery is underground at the one at Knott's Berry, right? Or is that's the one in Glendale? But their bakery is massive, so they're probably going to be importing all of the pastries and stuff from the one at Knott's Berry to Disneyland, most likely, because they couldn't keep up with a bakery at downtown Disney.
Yeah, well, and they are kind of landlocked just in terms of how much space is being allocated to more than a dozen different locations being thrown into this sort of, back western corner of the Disneyland resort. So
That's a good way to
I
put it.
can't imagine, you're right. I can't imagine that they're going to have a whole lot of operating room. So much of it probably will need to be brought in. I know that most vendors and most retailers in front of downtown Disney's, platform, if you will, often have to do that because they just have no sort of backroom space to work with.
Yeah.
So
That
good
parking, they're
call.
gonna have to build like a parking garage because I feel like everybody's gonna need Portos, and if they're able to go to downtown Disney and park and enjoy the day and grab like a potato ball,
Yeah,
then might
yeah,
as
right.
well like try to get some parking structure done, and like it's gotta be their line is gonna be busy all the time.
I think it's amazing that they struck a deal with a Southern California, icon of
Oh
dining
wow.
and
I
baking.
wish I
Yeah,
could eat it again. Man, those potato
right.
bars are so good.
Sucks to your allergies. I'm so sorry.
I know, but it's okay. I'm like really happy that everybody is gonna get Portos and like the visitors too, because a lot of people don't really know what Portos is. And it's an amazing Cuban bakery, and it started in Glendale, and then that baby progressed everywhere. And so I know a lot of people visit Disneyland and they have to take an Uber trip to Portos and wait in
Right.
line over at Knott's Berry to grab, a lot of the fun pastries that they have, and then come back and they eat it for the few days that they're there. But man, you guys are totally gonna have a beautiful, beautiful time eating there.
It's a Southern California institution. It's incredible that
Oh
they
yeah.
struck that deal to bring it into a place like downtown Disney. And I hope that with this exposure, this is now going to give it some sort of national spotlight that it so deserves, and
Oh
maybe
yeah.
even some international love from the out of towners. And I think Portos is an absolutely excellent choice
What a
to
move.
come into a place like downtown. Yeah, right. Smart.
Yes.
Very clever. Well, Andrew from chat chiming in saying D23 and they won't even announce Mary Poppins ride for D23. Wow. Obviously, what we learned at the last D23 is potentially coming to Epcot. In fact, they said it was and then slowly rescinded all of that. And then,
Yeah.
of course, Magic Bands for Disneyland. We know that that's supposed to come before the end of the year, but they didn't even take this opportunity to say, here's the date, like here's when it's happening. So I agree, Andrew. Two missed opportunities there too, and certainly weird to think about all of the projects that faded away from the last D23 that they have just sort of ignored,
Mhm.
not acknowledging anymore.
Pretty much. I mean, I feel like yeah, the Mary Poppins is gone. The little attraction. I think it was supposed to be like what not a sing along, but it was supposed to be something small to like pack people in, kind of like what they do in France.
Hmm.
But I was really looking forward to it.
As was I. Maybe one day down the line they will resurrect such an idea and it'll be better. Um,
2024.
2024, right. Carter chiming in saying the results of this expo show two options. One, the Imagineers are just creatively bankrupt and there are no ideas left. Two, the leaders are not letting the Imagineers do what they want to do. And Katrina, I said yesterday, if you
Mhm.
recall on our live, that I feel like so much of what is happening with the organization moving forward is by the edict of Bob Chapek, because he's been very vocal about trying to tie everything they do to really successful intellectual properties, really successful brands and franchises, which from a business sense,
Mhm.
I guess is smart, because you're already cashing in on something that people love. But it definitely does tie the hands of the creatives who would like to make something new or something original or something unique
Yeah.
when it's so, I guess, tethered to an IP and you kind of have to go along with it. But yeah, what do you think of what Carter says here?
I mean, I agree with number two. Number one, no. I mean, the Imagineers will always have imagination. There'll always be creativity. It's the hammer and it's the budget, right? So
Yeah.
you could think of amazing concepts and then you get Chapek involved and then he's like, nope, costs too
Nope.
much. And then they're like, how do you still create this idea by, taking away 85%
Mhm.
of this to bring it to the budget that I'm going to give you? And then that's when the Imagineers probably get frustrated and irritated because, honestly, Millennium Falcon was supposed to be something even greater, and
Right.
they
Galaxy's Edge
and
in
they
general.
they took it and they put it on like elementary level type thing, because it was supposed to be even more like, I guess there was a lot more that was supposed to go into it.
Sure.
And they just said, nope, we're going to make it so everybody can enjoy it. But yes, I think the budget's the one that's making everything harder.
No doubt, shackled handcuffs for the creatives. I agree with you. I think that when it comes to the Imagineers, I think there's plenty of imagination left, but they're only allowed to do what they're allowed to do. I think that there's plenty of folks that are attracted to that job who want to move mountains creatively and probably aren't able to in positions that they're in. So we move along here, downtown Disney, getting more than a dozen shops and dining, and certainly that construction is supposed to get underway here pretty quick. We also heard that a new nighttime spectacular is coming to Epcot in 2023, and of course the center portion of Epcot that has been walled off, which at this point feels like, for a decade.
It does.
Right, it feels like it has been walled off.
I thought it's
forever.
part of the park now. I didn't know that it was coming down.
It's themed walls that you can take photos with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal now, apparently, at Epcot. But announcing that there's a new nighttime spectacular that will be taking over soon. So as the 50th anniversary special that replaced Illuminations is ushered out, a new nighttime spectacular will take up residency at Epcot's World Showcase Lagoon. And then, of course, like I mentioned, the center of Epcot is set to reopen in 2023. Let's take a look at what Josh had to share on that front.
An all-new nighttime spectacular for Epcot during the 100th anniversary celebration. Brand new show, and this show is in development right now, and it will debut later next year, continuing that park's legacy.
Got a little choppy there. At any rate, he had a lot to share on that front, that there is a new show coming our way, and that we will soon see the sort of celebration area just behind Epcot's giant golf ball finally be opened up for us, which is great to hear. And he had some Figment news, too. Let's hear about that.
Park, and I got a feeling he's probably a favorite of some of the folks in this room today. Well, for most of our lives, he's appeared only in our imaginations. But for a short period of time, years ago, you could actually meet this lovable purple dragon. Well, I am thrilled to announce that by the end of next year, you'll get the chance to meet Figment in person once again out in the park. Figment is back. I am going to have a lot more to share in the future, but our teams are right now hard at work bringing Figment to life, and I know that you're going to all be excited to meet him. And since we're talking favorite characters, let's head over to Magic Kingdom to talk about...
And you'll have to hold your expectations for that one, because we don't want to get ahead of too much here. However, we are hearing that now you can meet Figment in 2023 at least. Are you excited about this prospect, Katrina, of bringing back this sort of cult classic character to meet up close and in person?
Oh my God, it's going to be so fun. Is it going to be like, my question is it going to be like an actual life, like a big person inside of a thing? Or is it going to be like the Dream Finder with Figment or something like that, where it's going to be like a puppet? I
would hope that it would be the Dream Finder style, where it's somebody with a little Figment, because he's so tiny. He's supposed to be, right? Right. to meet Figment 6 feet tall
Mickey
would
Mouse
probably
is
not
tiny,
be so
but look at him normally in the park.
Very true. But we already have precedent.
I was like, oh man, is it going to be like some like kind of guy and he's like holding Figment, and like maybe it's like the tour guide or something holding Figment? I don't know. It'd be really cool though.
I wonder myself, and certainly hope that we get tiny Figment back.
Tiny Figment, yeah. And then
Figment.
Oh man, and that nighttime show is gonna be so fun. I mean, hopefully they get rid of that stupid barge, but
oh my gosh, all of those, right? That just completely destroyed our sight lines around World Showcase.
It really did. I mean, it just makes me sad, but I don't know. Like, I wish he would have said something about the barge. That would have been great, being like, don't worry, everybody. the barge is gone, and then everybody would like roar of applause.
I agree. I think that would have got a huge pop. Well, our friend DK saying Epcot 40th anniversary. I know, DK. I thought the same thing. You had an opportunity here to go all in on Epcot's 40th, and outside of whatever is going to be replacing Harmonious, I don't know that there's going to be much tied into it. It doesn't sound like it's really all that much of a priority with the 100 years of wonder that is set to take hold next year.
I mean, you never know. He did say like a little cliffhanger being like, we have a lot more things to talk about. And
That's
so,
true.
that they're going to probably keep it on the back burner. So when they need to do like PR reprieve or something, like something bad happens, they're going to like shoot out something about Epcot 40.
We might be in luck. You're right. Absolutely. Well, we move along here and we take a look at some of the other things that were announced out east at the Walt Disney World Resort. Something that we definitely wanted to make mention of is the fact that, yes, our friends at Tron, the Light Cycle Run roller coaster that has no doubt been in preparation for also a decade, it seems, of being built and tested and moved through the process of being rideable, is on its way. Supposed to be opening in spring of 2023. Here's what they had to share about it.
I fully realize that I have a really cool job, but I think you can tell how much I enjoyed that. And what you all saw there, that is just a little taste. It was great riding with some of the team members who have been so committed to this attraction through all of its unforeseen twists and turns. They're working on a lot of finishing touches right now, and we're excited for you all to experience it. That is why I am thrilled to announce to you today that Tron Light Cycle Run will debut in the spring of 2023.
We also heard, Katrina, in addition to that, a little extra magic coming to the Haunted Mansion at Magic Kingdom.
We have heard you, and I am fiendishly thrilled to announce that next year the Hatbox Ghost will materialize in the Haunted Mansion at Walt Disney World.
So Tron and the Hatbox Ghost?
I can't. I'm going to explode. I mean, I guess my yesterday's prediction did not come true for Tron. I'm sorry, you guys. I really was trying.
You did what you
And then the Hatbox Ghost, though, wow. It was expected but unexpected at the same time. Like, we've all talked about having the Hatbox Ghost, but I didn't actually think they were going to do it.
Neither did I. Yeah, it was nice that they threw that in there. It was kind of a wonderful nod to the fact that everybody is super jealous of Disneyland's version of the Haunted Mansion.
As they should be.
It is far superior, that's for sure. I do like certain elements of Magic Kingdoms that I wish could be transported. I love the staircase room in the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, the staircase room is so cool. I like how like the walls, like the eyes kind of blink and you kind of go and it's like alive. I always love that scene. But again, that's what we talked about yesterday too, is that I don't want it cookie cutter. I like going to Magic Kingdom and having that Haunted Mansion, and it's something different. And then we have our Haunted Mansion, and like it just kind of gives it makes you want to go back and forth, right? To see it, because you'll miss one and then go to the other. So I don't like it being all the same, because then it kind of gets boring. But I think it does. It's so funny because it's like a joke when we turn around the corner in the attic in Magic Kingdom and we're like, is he dead? Oh, he's not, so it's always a fun joke. So it's nice to have it actually there, because sometimes that scene it gets a little boring because it's just so dark and quiet. So I think it's needed. It adds just like that one sense of wonder.
I'll be there now. Looking forward
so
to seeing the Hatbox Ghost roll on in to Magic Kingdom's Haunted Mansion. And friends, looks like in our chat, we do have Bob Chapek. He's arrived.
Be quiet, you guys.
he's jumping in and sharing with us some thoughts. And definitely, I've no doubt he's a busy guy, so he probably can't stick around for too long. But he is an individual that has at least listened to the fans, now proclaiming, number one, that he'll be raising prices as well. So we can anticipate that. He also decided to share with us that he's listened to our feedback So he'll be raising those prices, in no time flat. I love his avatar, by the way. His image is fantastic. So for those of you that happen
I'm
to,
blessed he's like very like he jokes about himself, That's always a good thing.
he knows how to laugh.
He's very
He's a guy with
lighthearted.
tremendous sense of humor. We call him Captain Charisma for a reason. It's great to have somebody of his caliber stop by. Thank you for blessing us with your presence, Bob. It means an awful lot. One of the other great things that we heard about during this D23 Expo 2022 Disney Parks and Experiences panel, oh, that's a mouthful, was also that a new Disney Cruise Line ship is on the way. And in addition to that, a new island for Disney Cruise Line also underway, with some unique ports of call also being thrown into the mix. Here's Josh with that update.
Aboard this spectacular new ship. Our growing fleet also allows us to go places that we've never been before. Because for our next adventure, I'm pleased to announce today that we will take the Disney Wonder to Australia and New Zealand. We will offer our first sailings in this part of the world beginning in late October of next year. The ship here is the destination on these voyages, inviting guests from this region into stories from Disney, Pixar, from Marvel, and Star Wars. And we're so glad to bring something new to those that may never have experienced this type of Disney magic before. Now, obviously then, I'm also excited to share that the Disney Wonders Repositioning cruises will be our first South Pacific voyages, giving you the chance to experience destinations like Fiji and Samoa. Pretty cool. And there's more. And there is more. Our Disney Cruise Line has started work on our new island destination in the Bahamas. I told you I had a cool job. I had a chance to visit recently, and I wanted you all to be the first to see it. Welcome to Lighthouse Point on the beautiful island of Eleuthera. We're still in the early stages, but I can tell this is going to be a spectacular location for our Disney Cruise Line guests. We have a long way to go, but just imagine the possibilities.
Because Katrina, one island isn't enough. What do you think of the announcement of a new island coming to the Bahamas for Disney Cruise Line and a new ship?
Oh man, I mean the new ship I was really shocked about because like normally they've obviously had this for years in the making, ready to go, building like the base of the ship. But at first I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to be like a luxury liner? Are they going to like do like a small cruise ship for like the Galapagos or something and charge like $40,000 a trip? Like like their new expensive plane Adventures by Disney thing, that their concept that they're doing. But I was wrong. But I think the interior is like so gorgeous. It's gonna be so amazing. And the island, I mean, if you remember the last D23, they briefly talked about Lighthouse Point.
Right.
And then it slowly was just, like what they did with Mary Poppins. They swept it under the rug, hoping everybody would forget, and then they would bring it back up at this D23. And I'm like, oh, it's still alive. Okay.
I totally thought it was a killed project. That's why it shocked me. I'm like, well, this is like a new announcement.
Yeah, I was like,
it's underway.
They actually did it. They actually are following through with it. I mean, I feel like even that video, I'm like, how old is that video? Is that the video that was like from 2 years ago or 3 years ago? And then they're kind of like saying this is a brand new concept. Did anybody remember? But I'm excited that they're, adding on like a new section because, Castaway Cay's amazing, but I think just having like another port of call where you're actually able to go to like another secured beach is actually really nice.
Totally. Yeah. And we all know Castaway Cay is wildly popular for the Disney Cruise Line guests. People adore it. It is one of the most popular ports of call that Disney does, that's for sure. And in addition to all of that, we did hear some great news regarding the international parks. Not a ton, just a handful of things. Paris, Tokyo, Hong Kong, they did do a deep dive into Arendelle and the new frozen lands that are coming to those parks, as well as sort of a new port of call, if you will, to Tokyo Disneysea. And there was some additional details regarding Tokyo Disneysea's sort of emphasis on Tangled and having a new attraction be brought in for that type of an attraction. So not a ton of concrete details other than like, oh, all these things are underway. We can't wait to open our new Frozen lands. It's going to be great at all these different parks, all these different destinations. So it's something that you can look forward to. But then we came back stateside and we started to hear from concept designers, Imagineers, creatives that also came from animation. And the more they were talking about the Walt Disney World theme parks, the more it went down the road of discussion regarding spaces in the current theme parks that could be redeveloped or expanded. Now, this is where I think so many people within our, our area of chat, I think so many of these folks are definitely ones that shared going along with so much of our discussion today. This is all blue sky. This is all really blue sky. And this is something that, they didn't necessarily give us a whole lot of details. They didn't necessarily give us a whole lot of, concrete things. So I get it. That is, definitely what these discussions were. But they would not have put this out there if they weren't serious about what they anticipate as a realistic, probable future of what they're going to do. So I agree. While it is very blue sky, what they've shared here that we will share with all of you, it is no doubt the direction they are heading in. Here is the focus that they first placed on Disney's Animal Kingdom, and of course, the future of that space that we currently know as Dinoland USA.
Yeah. But yes, I believe we did share some with you early on.
Yeah. And are you going to be a wimp, or are you going to share?
So you're calling me out on stage?
Yeah,
That's what's happening?
You guys, these are our fans here.
But wait, I just want to know.
These are our fans.
Okay. I just want to know first, will I have a job come Monday morning?
You'll always have a job.
All right, great. All right, let's just show it. Let's show it.
All right. Put it up.
Okay, look, we're going to show you this. It's big, it's beautiful, it's over the top. And I'd hesitate even to call this a concept. Look, we develop lots of paintings like this to help our teams envision the possibilities of what could be. This is just one of them.
But I love this one.
It's a good one.
But I love this one.
I know.
Yes.
And I know that there's more beyond just that one park, Animal Kingdom. Since we're already pulled back the curtain a little bit here, why not go?
So talking about the potential of Zootopia and Moana themes being infused into Dinoland USA, or at least that back corner of the park, those are pretty incredible IPs to attach to Animal Kingdom. A lot can be done with them. Of course, the concept art didn't look all that complete and certainly had a lot to be desired. But what do you think, Katrina? Both of those types of franchises coming to Animal Kingdom.
Goodness, it feels like someone talked about this yesterday.
Who could that
kind
have
of prediction? So weird. No, I'm excited. It feels weird to have Moana and Zootopia kind of together in like the same space. Like I feel like they need to be separated to create that type of like movement. So you go from one place and you're going to like Zootopia, and then you kind of have like a gap, and then you go into Moana. But it seems like it's weird that they're putting in Moana at Animal Kingdom when she's already in Epcot to kind of talk about like the water stuff. Like, why wouldn't you just put it that way? You're kind of putting it, I don't know, like you're spreading Moana too thin, like putting them in different parks. But I'm excited for Zootopia. It looks really, I feel like it needs a little bit more by the rendering. I'm like, wait, are you just repurposing that stupid like circular, what is it, the where you go up and down and you just go in a circle? Like the little dino thing.
Yeah, the Dino Dumbo.
Yeah, like the Dino Dumbo. Like it looks like they're repurposing it somehow. And I'm like, no, I don't want that. I want like actual legit ride, kind of what they're doing. In what park are they doing it? Gosh, my mind just went blank. Shanghai?
In Shanghai.
Yeah.
Hong Kong.
Wait, what?
Hong Kong?
Hong Kong? I forgot
Zootopia.
now.
Yeah.
But I was hoping that they would bring some of that over to us, and I don't know really what their concept art looks like, but I'm excited that it's going to be Zootopia. And I love Moana, and I'm excited for it, but I just don't think they should be together in so close proximity.
No kidding, right? It does
right?
seem a little strange. Joe saying here Moana should not be in Animal Kingdom makes no sense, especially
Yes.
since they are currently adding it to Epcot. So echoes exactly what you're saying. I
Yeah.
agree, right? It is strange to have, sort of two mega themed things be in both two different theme parks, and a
It just
little
seems
little
weird.
odd.
One's a talking animals, and then the other one is like humans.
Uh,
So
Good point.
how are you able to like put them in so close of an area?
Yeah, absolutely. Hmm.
Seems strange. So
It does.
hopefully they reconsider and they just put Moana somewhere in her own space that she deserves, and then Zootopia gets Dinotopia, so they can just get rid of Dinoland.
And I know that there is a little bit of expansion space on that corner of the property as well. So hopefully that will come along with it, because trying to plug in both of those franchises to one small area, I don't know is going to necessarily be the right thing to do to pay
Yeah, don't
tribute
you
to
want to
both of them.
expand Zootopia maybe after like Zootopia 2 comes out, and like Moana, if they ever do something like you would want to expand, so you're kind of putting yourself in a corner.
Yeah, give us something good. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, we
Do
move
we
on
need
over to.
Nemo? Just knock that building down and keep going.
It's a pretty big building, right? Yeah, it's a lot of space. Well, we move on from Disney's Animal Kingdom over to Magic Kingdom, where there's all kinds of discussion from this same team about the probability of what lies behind. Have you ever wondered, they say, what lies behind sort of Frontierland's Big Thunder Mountain Railroad? What's beyond that area? What would it be like to visit that area? Well, they had a lot to share, including several concepts of what we might see in the future in that space. Took me by surprise, was not anticipating this in the slightest. Let's take a listen.
Maybe in front of us, there's a valley. There's a valley in front of us with the little town of Santa Cecilia, Mexico. And they're celebrating Dia de los Muertos. And what if we can climb on board the back of Al Brie and fly into the land of the dead with our familia, just like the Riveras in Coco? That's what could be out there.
And of course, I mean, I'm just asking, what if we do want to talk about Bruno?
Bruno.
You heard that, Josh. I'm sure you know that there are many of us at Disney Animation who cannot wait to see more Encanto in the parks.
And I know we've got some of them here too.
I mean, who are we kidding? No one could bring a magical house to life like Disney Imagineering. What if you could walk into the magical casita, just saying, meet the family? What if Maribel is your guide, introducing you to all the wonder within those walls? Bruno's tower, Antonio's room, all of it, all of it. What if you could step up to a door and discover your own magical gift?
What if?
What?
Jennifer is not gonna stop. And you know what? She shouldn't. These types of ideas are exactly why I'm so glad that you are both here today talking to our biggest fans about what could be.
And it didn't stop there. In fact, they even went on to discuss, Katrina, a villains land, a villains themed area, and all things villains experience. So we hear these sort of three major franchises beyond Frontierland, beyond the spires, if you will, of Big Thunder Mountain. And I'm now wondering, that's an awful lot to put back behind that, in that space, basically, of the park. That's an awful lot of concepts, to throw back there. And as I'm looking through our comments and folks that are chiming in as we go along, I did see this from Troy. He said, could the blue sky concepts alluded to in the Beyond Big Thunder Mountain possibly be a fifth gate rather than just a new land? Food for thought. And I have to tell you, Magic Kingdom, isn't that tasty? I'm thinking that with all of these, especially a Villains Land,
Yes.
This is something that everybody has been asking for decades. Like, oh, could you imagine a totally villains themed land or a totally villains themed park? Like, that would be so cool. To throw that into Magic Kingdom now, granted, there is a bit of expansion space to the north, but to really do these three sort of juggernaut franchises justice, I don't know necessarily that it's all going to work out in that corner.
Yeah, it would never, like when they were talking about it, my brain was like, wait, there's not enough room back there if you're going to do it justice. Like, I want to see like the casita, like I want to see the whole town. I don't want to just go through this like tiny little baby section and then go, oh, and then now we're in this other area. Oh, there's the villains. Like, you don't want that in your sightline. You want to be immersed in that section and then continue around the corner and then go to somewhere else. So I know there's a lot of I know there's space, but I mean the fifth gate, it's a pretty good idea.
I like that food for thought is downright filling.
Yeah, I mean honestly, like I was even thinking about, because like the way they were describing the little ride that they're describing sounds pretty close to Flight of Passage.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the ride system they're going to be using to pack in a lot of people in a small space.
Absolutely.
But it still looks, I mean, I still want to go on it, but I feel like if to do that movie justice, you need to give it a bigger space along with villains. There's so many villains.
Right?
You can always add on.
Villains alone. If you're trying to make a multi-land, multi-themed land, or, trying to do what they did with Fantasyland and like, oh, these little neighborhoods. No. They need way more dedicated space to them. And Corrine says, Encanto bathrooms?
Oh, man. That'd be spooky. There's like doors slamming and stuff, and then like music happening. The floors are rattling, and they're like watching you pee.
Hey, it's exactly what they did with the theme of, Rapunzel and Tangled. They turned it into a restroom stop.
It's true. I know. I feel like they deserve more, but I love those bathrooms. They're gorgeous.
They're some of the best bathrooms in the park.
They're
that's
so
for sure.
Fun.
Yeah, but maybe a new park. Maybe that is where it's all going when they say beyond, Big Thunder Mountain. I often wonder myself if that is what they're referring to. Is like, okay, is there going to be something major pushed back there, or do they just mean off in the general direction beyond Big Thunder Mountain? Is there a slab of property nearby that they could turn into something far bigger? I think that we might all be onto something here in that this is not just a land, not just a land's worth of things. So I think that I think that I'm ready to welcome in something like an Encanto, something like a Coco themed land if it's done right, and if it needs to share. I don't know that I'm willing to let that go, because both are really spectacular in their own right in terms of looks and things that you can do and immersion, and to try and do the neighborhood thing in just a generalized, single space with all of these properties. No. That's a terrible idea. So I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, can you imagine? Like, if they did like a whole Coco section and a whole Encanto section, and then it would be amazing. Like, I was like thinking of the food too. I'm like, oh my god, there's so many food options that you can create with this, and like the ride options, and then like knowing about the different like cultures from the two movies alone.
Yeah.
You need to give them more space.
Let's not just turn this into a restroom, please.
No. I would be so mad.
So we've heard now so far, Happily Ever After fireworks returning to Magic Kingdom next year. Mandalorian meet and greet character not only introduced on stage, but will be arriving to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in November. Hulk meet and greet coming to Avengers Campus at Disney California Adventure starting next week. Third attraction coming to Avengers Campus at California Adventure with King Thanos, a multiverse attraction with no real details as to when that's getting underway or when we can anticipate it. Big Hero 6 San Fransokyo retheme is coming to the Pacific Wharf at California Adventure with a dedicated space to meet our friend Baymax. The Paradise Pier Hotel is now going to become Pixar Place, which is very nice to hear. A theme that will suit it well looking into that backside of California adventure. We got some more details on Toontown, exactly what things will look like for its spring 2023 reopening. Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the retheme of Splash Mountain, coming to us in 2024. Downtown Disney getting more than a dozen new tenants at the California destination, along with Porto's, the Southern California institution. New nighttime spectacular coming to Epcot in 2023 was announced, replacing Harmonious, along with an announcement that the center of Epcot will be reopening in 2023. We will also be able to meet Figment for the first time in forever in 2023. And Tron will be reopening in spring 2023. We also heard that there is a new Disney ship joining the fleet, which is fantastic. And a whole new slew of ports of call, including a new island that Disney's been working on, Lighthouse Point. In addition to that, a couple of different things regarding Arendelle development with Paris, Tokyo, and Hong Kong parks, Zootopia and Moana themes being developed for Dinoland USA at Disney's Animal Kingdom, as we just mentioned, as well as what we just finished up with there regarding Coco, Encanto, and a villains-themed something beyond Big Thunder Mountain and Frontierland at Magic Kingdom. This brings us to sort of the final revelation of what has been going on at the D23 panel today, and that is that the Disney 100 Years of Wonder celebration will kick off next year and will bring lots of magic, not just to the theme parks in general, not just to the different places across the organization as a Disney company, but beginning in January, Disney 100 Years of Wonder will be the biggest celebration in the history of the company. That's what they're promising, and it's going to include new decor, specialty food and beverages, character experiences, and a whole lot more. Of course, it'll be celebrated at parks around the world, as mentioned, with the heart of the celebration, though, rooted, Katrina, at the Disneyland Resort. And we heard some pretty big things are coming to Disneyland because of it. Let's see what Josh had to share.
Awaited return of the Magic Happens parade this spring. And I love that one. I can't wait to experience it with all of you. Trust me, I will be out there. And I'm excited to announce that starting in late January, Disneyland Resort will showcase
Oh no, it got all garbled again. I'm not sure what's going on. At any rate, what he was sharing was Disneyland Resort will showcase 2 new nighttime spectaculars. World of Color 1 is what it's called. A new fireworks show will come along with that called Wondrous Journeys, and that will kick off in late January. So World of Color 1 and Wondrous Journeys, along with the much anticipated return of Magic Happens Parade. Katrina, all these 3 things coming for us here at our home park.
So many things are happening. I'm so excited. We talked about Magic Happens. It's happening. January, here it is. I finally get to see it.
Finally.
Don't cancel on me now, Disney. And then I'm so excited. Like we talked about the prediction of a new fireworks show and how cool it'd be to like actually, enjoy the 100 years of Disney and how they began. And what did I say? I said Disneyland's the best way to do it, and they chose
That's right.
it. And so I'm really excited about it. Oh man, it's going to be so great. I'm curious to see World of Color and how they're going to do it. World of Color has always been a good one, and it kind of needed a little refresh. So I'm excited that they're going to do something new.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be great to have World of Color freshened up and to be able to see this Wondrous Journeys, I think, is going to be epic because Disneyland can do fireworks like nobody's business. They have definitely sort of perfected that over the course of the last, we'll say 15 years or so. I think the 50th anniversary of Disneyland really was the coming out party of exactly how they could knock our socks off with the show. But for the most part, it looks like that That's the full breakdown that we have for you here of the Disney Parks panel announcements of things to come and to anticipate. We are seeing in our chat folks saying, okay announcements, but for the most part, lame. And that's unfortunate. Certainly we were all anticipating some really big groundbreaking stuff and maybe some earth shattering types of announcements. But we are definitely not being blown away, I think. It's safe to say. I won't speak for you, Katrina.
Yeah.
I wasn't blown away by anything.
I don't think I was. I think I was more like excited, like for the small things, right? Like the fireworks show, Happily Ever Coming Back, Hatbox Ghost, but it wasn't anything like, Tomorrowland refresh, here is a happening. You wanted it, give you the people mover, that kind of stuff. But we're like, oh my God, finally. And then, trying to get some of, honestly, the East Coast announcements were very small. They weren't even groundbreaking or anything huge. I feel like Disneyland got a lot more things announced than Disney World did, which I was kind of shocked about.
Yeah, it was bizarre to say the least that, even in the midst of their 50th anniversary with Epcot's 40th right around the corner, the Florida destination, and, certainly the biggest of all the properties, really didn't get much acknowledgement at all.
It's Disney World.
It's very surprising, that's for sure. And I'm shocked that we didn't hear at least a handful of more sort of concrete updates of here's what's happening and when. Just some like details really and some blue sky things. Space Traveler is saying, I think Magic Kingdom Frontierland plans blew a lot of people away. Well, I agree, but the thing is those are just concepts. They're not really things that are happening. There's no real concrete details, and that's what I mean by when I say concrete. There's nothing really there to help us understand when, where, how. That's it. It's just a concept.
This is like their Imagineering being like, all right, this is a really great concept. Let's just do it. And we'll draw it up, see how it goes. And then that's when it goes through the different departments and all that stuff. And that's when it either gets axed, reduced, or actually come true.
So I hope to see, really awesome and really incredible, lands expanded, things created in the future, but we don't have any specifics from them yet. So they were just sort of sharing the idea of, hey, here's what we've thought about. Maybe it'll work out down the line. So maybe we will see those announcements come into the new year. Certainly, they wouldn't put those things out there if they weren't serious about them, which gives me a little bit more confidence. Tish and Megan saying, no earth shatters here. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, nothing huge. I thought they were going to announce a new hotel.
Oh, so did I. Yeah, I anticipated a new hotel myself.
Oh, well.
Yeah, surprising, right? No DVC property, nothing.
Yeah,
really surprising on that front. Trisha's saying that'll be years away. All those developments for Animal Kingdom and for Magic Kingdom, yes, years away. We'll probably hear specifics at the next D23. To be entirely honest, I think that this was to whet our appetite for things that they will plot. A seed. Basically they'll plant a seed in our mind, and then they will plot for this to be the return on investment during the next D23.
What I will say though is I was really excited about them announcing Run Disney coming back for Disneyland for 2024. Like at first they were talking about Run Disney and I was like, yeah. And then they're like, in 2024. I'm like, oh, no, it's so far. But I am excited that's coming back. Like that really got me off guard because honestly, I thought they were never going to come back.
Yeah. No kidding. It took me by surprise that we were going to see Run Disney return to the Disneyland Resort as well. Something that I didn't include on the list, but you're absolutely right. It's one of those things that definitely a big moneymaker for Disney.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's finally coming back to us as the world returns to much more of a semblance of normalcy.
Yeah, when Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway actually opens, like that's probably when they're going to start doing it again.
That's a good call. I bet that's something that we'll see. You're right. Very good. And Bob Chapek wanted to share with us before he bounced out of here in our chat. I'm a busy man. I must depart. Thanks for agreeing that we nailed it today. Must go to the office and crush some more dreams. Thanks, Kingdom Report, for the platform to spread the message.
Oh my
Bob,
gosh.
anytime you want to stop by, buddy, It means an awful lot. And, you know, like I said, your avatar, your account image, it says it all. Thanks for being so lighthearted and engaging.
Yeah. I was surprised that he didn't himself actually say, you know what, Josh, I got today. I'll do it. Can you imagine him talking to the Hulk?
I could. It's playing out in my mind right now, and it's glorious. Oh, it's all I want now.
It'd be so great. Can you imagine everybody on Twitter?
I do recall, I witnessed it too, when Bob Chapek first met Groot at California Adventure. And it was one of the most uncomfortable, bizarrely awkward moments of my Disney career. And watching him trying to talk to Groot and trying to discuss things from the Marvel universe and all of those, like, you know, trying to build a bridge to this mute character was one of the best things I've ever witnessed. So to see him now in my mind meeting the Incredible Hulk, oh yeah, we need to make that happen.
Yeah. Maybe when the Hulk comes next week, right? Maybe he'll be there. Who knows?
Yes, please. Well, very good. Well, it has been a pleasure hanging out with you again today, 2 days in a row with you, Katrina.
My pleasure. What a treasure.
Oh my gosh,
Just like
the
the new
biggest
ship, am I right? Hey.
That's right. Hey, that's right. You called it. Well, I know that it was a big day for Disney Parks goers to, you know, sit down, brace themselves for some big announcements. We got a handful of, I'll say, moderate to halfway decent announcements. And I'm so grateful that all of you could tune in for this sort of, D23 after show. And if you missed out on all things film, television, and the first 2 days of the D23 Expo recap, that is now live on our Kingdom Report YouTube channel, where we were live with you yesterday talking all about it, Katrina and myself, discussing all of the things that happened from the Legends ceremony on into the Marvel presentation, Lucasfilm, and the Disney animation, as well as live action films that are coming our way, and definitely did a bit of a deep dive into that too. So if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up button. It means an awful lot to us. Ensure you're subscribed so you never miss an update. And if there's anything we can do for you, please let us know in the comments following the broadcast. If you're watching on demand, drop it in our comments. Let us know what you thought of the D23 Expo. And hopefully we will see you again real soon here on the Kingdom Report. You take care of yourselves, and remember, the legacy of Walt Disney lives on because of people like Katrina and me. Take care. We'll see you next time for another installment of Disney News Talk Live.
Looking for some digital magic to help you through your week? The Kingdom Report is here for you, covering the latest Disneyland and Disney World news, experiences, and events. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Kingdom Report Live so you never miss an update. And drop a subscribe on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel for new videos every week. Don't miss out. Join this growing community of theme park fans as we aim to connect you to more of what makes you happy. For more information, visit KingdomReportLive.com. And now, back to the magic.